And there's a sealed copy of the original Super Mario Brothers that sold for a lot of. And that well, it wasn't a million, but it was like a couple 100,000. And there was I know a Zelda sold for a lot of money recently too. It's just a fucking joke at this point. Like it's getting almost as ridiculous as comic books.
Yeah.
Which I can kind of understand comics to a certain extent. I mean, with like Action Comics 1, where it's a comic from the 30s that was printed on really cheap paper, and if you can find a mint condition copy, it's extremely valuable. I mean, I can kind of I can to a certain extent, I can kind of understand the value of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, it's still kind of like you're paying like literally like almost like $10 million for a comic book. It's really weird.
Yeah, just get like a reprint.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way with vinyl. Like, if I could find a good copy from the '70s for a decent price, hell yeah, I'm happy about that. But I'm just as happy getting a modern remaster on vinyl.
Yeah.
Like, I just bought the Who Sell Out and
Yeah, it seems like it's a big problem with like black metal bands, like early black metal bands and death metal.
I paid
Yeah,
$5,000 for a black metal demo on tape.
yeah, especially the tapes. That's even weirder. I like, like I don't get. I mean, like obviously you got the infamous Death Like Silence pressings, whatever. I mean, some of them are interesting because they come with like a letter written. I remember I saw the Burzum debut, the Death Like Silence, and it came with a handwritten like note from Varg and shit like that. And it was I think he wanted like still like 5,000 or something, some high ass number. But it's kind of cool that it comes with a handwritten note. But even still, it's like
Yeah.
I would never pay like that much for a fucking album, even given the history of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I can't
wouldn't
believe I
either.
own a fucking Death. Yeah, I can't believe I own a Death Crush first press.
I would love
That's
to
that's
own that, but
that's really weird.
Death Crush is a good fucking EP too.
Yeah,
I think it was technically a demo that they
it
released as an
was.
EP, wasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of. Yeah, I think so. Because it's not very long.
Yeah. Well, EPs typically aren't very long. I just got
Oh yeah.
a.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
Typically.
just got an EP, the Black Blood Vomitorium EP by Necrophagia. I got that from a small label in Italy, limited 100, and I paid about $10 for it, plus shipping
Yeah,
and
that's not
handling,
bad.
which like doubled the price because of Kung Flu.
It's a good name for it. I don't think I heard that before.
I could have sworn I had said that to you at some point. So are we at the point where
Oh
they're going to
damn.
start charging hundreds of dollars for Game Cubes and PlayStation 2s yet? Or are we just headed that way? You still there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was getting a drink. I had to leave the room. But yeah, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 for the GameCube actually are like in the upwards of like $100 now.
Yeah, but I meant like the actual GameCube console. How much did...
Oh, the console itself. Oh,
Yeah.
um,
Commonplace as shit.
yeah, they're still relatively cheap, from what I've seen anyway.
Because you know we're going to reach that point. Like, this here is a mint condition PlayStation 2. That means it's worth $5,000. No, it fucking isn't.
No, no, it's not.
These sold 150 million of these things sold. Do I need to repeat myself?
It's like that in the Wii too. It's like when you start seeing Wii's going for a lot of fucking money, you know there's something really wrong
Yeah.
with the game collecting industry or game collecting community.
Everybody bought the Wii. Your mom bought the Wii. Everybody's
Literally, yeah.
mom bought the Wii.
retirement. Like I've never there was never another console in history where like retirement homes were purchasing them by the fucking truckload. Like, it's I mean there were I remember seeing one at this local I don't know what you would call it, like a club or whatever. Like there's like a club that like a bunch of old people go to, and there was a Wii in there. So like I mean it was so weird at the time. I mean I understand why. I mean it was a lot of fun playing those. It was a lot of fun playing Wii Sports and shit like that, but it's kind of funny just seeing how mainstream the Wii got at the time.
Yeah. And it still
All those
didn't
old people.
outsell the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that's what's that saying. I just think the fact that the PS2 had a DVD player was like a huge factor in that
Yeah, that was a
at
smart
the
move,
time.
and it was an equally smart move for the PlayStation 3 when they put I'm lost when they put a Blu-ray player in it
Yeah,
because that didn't pay off right away because they were expensive hardware at the time, but in the long run, oh yeah, having
it
that
was very
Blu-ray
worth
player
it.
played off.
Yeah, because it got to the point where a lot of 360 games later on in the life cycle were on 2 discs. I remember Wolfenstein New Order was like that.
Yeah,
GTA 5 was like that, and like
Final Fantasy 13 was on more than one disc. Mass Effect
yeah,
2 was on more than one disc. Guess how many discs it was on the PlayStation 3? Go on, I'll give you
Uno,
one guess.
Uno.
Yep.
Yeah, a whole one, the way it should be. Yeah, that was a good move on because it was also I mean, even around the time the PlayStation 3 came out, the Blu-ray I can't remember if the actual HD like war was even over at the time, or maybe that was a big factor in Blu-ray winning at the time.
Yes, that was a big factor. Blu-ray beating HD DVD. There
Yeah.
was a HD DVD player for the Xbox 360, but it was an external thing. You had to buy it separately,
Oh yeah.
which kind of sucked because it
Could have.
was a higher storage space format.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, yeah, kind of surprised that HD DVD didn't win just because of the fact that it's has DVD in the name. A lot of people would associate that with, oh, I should just get the HD DVD instead of this weird thing called Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we all know how that turned out. Now at this point, nobody even really buys Blu-rays anymore, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it kind of blows my mind that you'll still see nowadays you'll see three versions of the same film on the shelf, and it'll be Blu-ray, DVD, and HD DVD and 4K. And I'm like, if you haven't adapted 4K yet, I understand the Blu-ray being out there, but why the fuck are we still producing DVDs?
DVDs, yeah, you know, like you might as well be producing like VHS. It's like this. It's honestly like the same thing at this point. Because nobody really watches DVDs anymore, like at all. And I think at this point, like there might be a market to make like VHSs again. Kind of like in the same vein as vinyl, because people really like the whole nostalgia thing.
Yeah, although
But
vinyl does have the unique position of it just sounds better than CD.
this, yeah, it's also the fact that it's a big ass 12-inch square of the the album.
Yeah,
You
the
can,
novelty
instead
of it does play part of it, but it really does sound better than CD. I've listened to shitloads of both. A good vinyl sounds better. Now
it's also just yeah.
you have to spend the money to make them sound great, because you have to get yourself a good setup. You know, you got to get good speakers. You got to get good stereo stuff like that.
It's also just it's really satisfying just like putting it on the turntable, putting a needle on it, and watching it like spin, and like the interesting like nature of how it works, and
Yeah.
like it's like when you like this, there's a lot that goes into it. That's really like this more satisfying.
Yeah. Obviously, I love vinyl. I just bought 5 of them.
Yeah,
I've got a shit ton more too. And I don't have a problem buying CDs. And obviously, I just recently bought. I just said I recently bought a tape, And if they put out the Cannibal Holocaust EP on tape, I will be buying that too. Then I will have 4
Oh yeah,
Necrophagia
there we go.
releases on tape.
Was that ever reissued? That EP, Cannibal Holocaust.
I do not know. I have never heard Cannibal Holocaust. I had
Oh,
heard
I
it.
never heard that. Oh wow, it's not bad. It's like that, obviously that was when Phil was in the band.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, so was Black Blood Vomitorium.
Yeah.
That was when his wife joined the band, actually.
Oh yeah, she played the keyboards. I
Yeah.
think.
She played keyboards,
'Cause
which was actually wound up being a big deal for Necrophagia because then they got Mirai from.
From Psy.
Yeah, I was gonna try to pronounce his last name, and I was like, I'm just gonna butcher it if I do.
Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember his name or his surname. Yeah, I didn't even know he was in the band at one point. Wow.
Yeah, he was in. He was on. No, what releases was he on? Harvest Ritual Volume 1, that release. The Goblins Be Thine EP. So all that awesome keyboard work that you hear on the song The Fog, that's him.
Cool.
Oh, what was the first one without Phil? Because he was on that one too.
I'm not sure. Can't remember what it's called.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. I own the fucking album. And I still don't remember what it's called. Divine Art of Torture, that was it. From 2003.
I could remember the cover, but I couldn't remember what the album was called.
And he was on their last one from 2014, White Worm Cathedral. I'm lost again.
Yeah, I remember this is one of the ones I got lost in.
White Worm Cathedral is a good fucking album too. That's their last one. It's like a final Necrophagia album. That's a good one to go out on. I don't think he was on the Death Trip 69 album. I haven't heard that one either. Because they did Death Trip 69, then they did a live album. That I also haven't heard. I want to get both of those, but if that record label, Dismal Fate Records, that's what it's called, I'll leave a link to their Facebook page for you guys to check out if you're interested. They put out music mostly on tape. And in limited quantity, it's a small Italian label. I think, if I remember right, I think what he said was he had permission to do everything through Cannibal Holocaust, didn't have permission to do anything after that.
Oh, just because of the legal shit.
Yeah. He said, if I remember right, he said he's gonna... try to get permission from the label to do more Necrophagia in the future. Which I hope so. If he does the live album or the Death Trip, I would love to get that from him. But when he does Cannibal Holocaust, I'll definitely pick that one up as well.
Yeah. That's a good EP.
The only one he re-released he's put out that I haven't done is Holocausto de la Muerta, because I already owned that album.
On CD.
Yeah, on CD. This was a tape release.
Oh. Was that even on vinyl?
I honestly do not know.
Because I don't know actually. Because I like that album. I mean, I think some people don't, but
yeah.
Because Phil was right. I think wasn't Phil writing most of the music at that point?
Yeah, Phil was writing it. It's this strange mix of like that ugly New Orleans kind of not grunge,
Like a sludgy type of doom or something.
Yeah, sludgy kind of doom, like I Hate God, mixed with more traditional death metal.
Yeah, because he's like good friends with I Hate God, and he's really influenced by him at the time and whatnot.
Yeah,
so that makes sense then.
Yeah, members of I Hate God were in Arson Anthem.
Yeah,
which is his punk band,
like Mark Williams. Yeah, Arson. Speaking of Arson Anthem, yeah, they need to really do something new because they're really good.
I need to get their full length album. I just have the Arson Anthem, the EP.
The EP, yeah. The other album's really good. I need to listen to that again sometime.
I really like that EP though.
Yeah. Yeah, because like Phil's kind of an underrated like riff writer in a way, because he's good at making like simple riffs, like simple like hardcore riffs or simple like death metal riffs.
Yeah, the end result is that there's really no other death metal album that sounds like that era of Necrophagia. That and then the 2 follow-up EPs that Phil was playing guitar on. There's nothing else that sounds like it. And
it's almost like a Death Doom crossover in a way.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Because it seems like a lot of Louisiana metal is really unique as it is. Like obviously with like I Hate God, Acid Bath, and Ex-Hoarder, and whatnot. But
I fucking love. I wish Acid Bath had done more than two studio albums. Because goddamn, they are so good.
That's a shame. But yeah, because they basically quit because actually, like 2 reasons, I guess. Their bassist got killed in a car accident at the time, and I think also Dax Riggs, the vocalist, wasn't really into metal anymore at that point.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big factor too. But it's a shame because they had a really talented bunch of songwriters. I mean, obviously, guitarist went on to do Goat Whore,
and I like Goat Whore.
I saw them years ago.
Put on a good show.
Yeah, they were touring with Whitechapel, so it was a bunch of like I wouldn't say scene kids, but it was a bunch of like horror fans, and they're really out of place. And I think somebody even like says something about how this band's like sucks or whatever. Like people weren't interested, or some of the people anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a shame, but whatever. I think one of the guys, I bought one of their shirts. And also got their hot sauce. And the guy who was selling merch was one of the members of Cynic, the death metal band Cynic.
Yeah.
I was talking to him a little bit.
Yeah, when I saw them with Creator. They were playing a one-off show with Creator in Dallas, and
That's cool.
a bunch of other bands. I don't remember who else was there, but it was a good fucking show. Oh hell yeah! I got BFG.
Is it the first time you found one? Seems like it.
Since I started this
Oh,
recording,
this,
yeah.
stream. Oh, this map's fucking annoying. I remember this map.
Yeah.
It's really convoluted. I had to actually look this up to beat this. I had to look up how to beat this fucking level. It's really confusing.
Well, I got a key. We'll beat this game eventually. I don't know how long it'll take. I'm not in a rush.
This is-
I also got myself a new controller for my PlayStation 3, which I really needed because mine has been like. If you go watch the footage I recorded of Jak 3 on the PlayStation 3, and then compare it to the footage I recorded off of the PlayStation 2, you can tell just by looking at that the control problems aren't me. It's the controller. There's something going on with the controller because I play way fucking better on the PlayStation 2 than I do on the original console or the PlayStation 3 remaster. And my controller's been like that for a while, and I've needed to get a new one, but it hasn't been high on my priority list because I'm playing my other consoles more right now. Like,
Yeah.
I finished the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
You got that on PS4.
I got that on Xbox One and played it on the Xbox
Xbox.
One X. And then I started Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster, and I'm working on that now. Does this have some kind of fisheye lens thing going on? Or is it just me?
Is the FOV really high?
I don't know what the FOV is set at. I haven't looked.
Because it might be the FOV or
I
something.
thought I set it at 90. Yeah, and yeah, I know you can get that effect with the FOV going like 110,
It's
120.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I actually like playing with the FOV that high for some reason. And like a Quake 3 or something. I don't know why. I mean, I like seeing the gun model like extend for like half the screen. It's kind of satisfying in a way.
I usually set it at about 90.
Yeah, like I think I usually go 100 because I kind of like the little bit of extra like I don't know, just view, I guess.
I just jumped through those bars. I didn't know I could do that. I get the feeling that that's not how I'm supposed to get up here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you're going to be jumping through a lot of portals. And it's going to trigger enemies and shit. It's really annoying.
Yeah, for the most part, this game's great, though. I like this game a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's got a very different feel from... They were limited in how many sprites of the newer, more detailed sprites they could put on screen without significant slowdown on not the PlayStation, the 64.
Yeah. Also, this the general tone's a lot different too. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's got a very different atmosphere and like the music and shit.
Because this was my first experience with Doom, so like it was really interesting experiencing this like really horror centric version of like the game, like the gameplay and stuff. Because I didn't play the actual original Doom until like much later, and that was the fucking horrible ass NES version. So I
Uh,
experienced the original Doom in the worst way I possibly could. It's kind of a shame, really.
yeah, that is a bad way to experience Doom. So did you hear about the Blizzard lawsuit?
Oh, state of California suing Activision,
Yeah.
Blizzard or whatever. Yeah. Whatever, what, like sexual harassment in the workplace or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I think for a long time people knew that, like, Activision Blizzard was just fucking rife with shit like that. Where that's gonna go. I mean, I don't have any sympathy for the big developers, honestly. I don't care what happens to them.
Yeah, I used to like at Blizzard a lot. Like they did some what's some of my favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm. Mainly Activision, really, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if it's mainly Activision or mainly Blizzard or both.
It's
Probably
like, yeah,
both.
it's probably yeah, both, honestly.
I mean, the big game companies are all full of people that call themselves male feminists, and you know what they're like.
Ironically, it's like yeah. And ironically enough, they're always the most like degenerate when it
They're
comes to
always
like
the
shit like
worst.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the hyper like religious people who are like they preach about like hating gays and stuff, but then they're caught like buying a male stripper or buying a male hooker or whatever. The same type of thing.
God damn.
Spider Master. Oh, I guess they are Spider Masterminds.
Yeah, two of them at the
Two
same
of 'em.
time. There goes one. Thank God. Would you die?
Yeah, they're a bit. They kind of feel all the like the big tough enemies feel kind of bullet spongy in this game. It kind of seems like.
Oh fuck! Did I turn off always run? There we go. I was wondering why I was suddenly moving slower. Look at that. Jesus Christ.
Isn't it satisfying?
Yeah, now I don't know what to do, but hey, I won.